Nityanandan, Mashivrupa from the Bidadi Adinam in Bangalore, Nityananda Peetham. Today I thought I would share with you something I've been noodling on for a while. And I was so excited that Swamiji actually covered it in the satsang today. And that is one of Ahara. Ahara as in what is it that you take within you. And Swamiji says anything you eat becomes you. Actually, ahara is anything you take within you, whether it is to do with your eyes or your ears or food you take, that itself becomes you. And especially the food that we eat, like at a very gross level, let's say you eat a lot of meat. Now, you're eating not only the meat, but you're also eating the hormones secreted when the animal died, which when it is in fight or flight response, when it's dying, the pain, the suffering. So you're eating not only the meat, but the pain and suffering associated with it also. Or let's say you're watching a TV show, and you know how when you're watching TV, what happens after a while is that your prefrontal cortex, which is where your higher cognition is, where your decision-making faculty is, shuts down and you start just responding from the hind brain. So it's like completely drinking in what is in front of you, whether it's violence or whether it's completely wrong, ignorant ideas given to you by society, even worse, vested interests planted in media today by people that want to control society, that are creating the ignorance for their own benefits. You're just drinking that in. That is now your ahara. And you're believing it. You're making muscle memory of it. You're making decisions based of it. And you're living life. Life is now lived based on these wrong cognitions. So that is ahara. Again, what you hear. Literally everything you take in within you should be thought of as food, ahara. It is not, it's not something to be taken lightly, especially when it comes to our kids. Our kids growing up in today's world are full of such wrong, ignorant ahara that they're fed by the unconscious society and by our own wrong cognitions that we have started to believe. So one of the urgent requirements of the modern world today is the cleansing of the ahara. Food is just one aspect of it, starting to eat cleaner food with less pesticides, less chemicals, such that your body is no longer just processing those chemicals, building it up in your intestine and creating all the toxicity in you. But even the TV, I think every parent and every person will agree that there's so much crap on TV these days. And which is why as parents we try so hard to restrict TV time for our children. Of course, internet, it's all over, it's uncontrollable. So if you look at it, Kali Yuga seems to be a time when the ahara around you is just full of pollution. Even the breathing in, even the prana, the air you breathe in is a form of ahara, isn't it? So there's so much pollution here. Kali Yuga is where more and more all the ahara that you're taking in is not at all helping you. In fact, it's putting you more and more into ignorance. It's putting you more and more into a place where you cannot recover. So the need of the hour for all of us is to purify our ahara. Even the thoughts we have are based on the ahara we have. Even what other people tell us, what we receive from our parents or people that have influence over us is ahara. When we start thinking this way, which is, let me purify every single thing that I am now receiving within myself, let that be based on higher cognition. Let that be based on what my ultimate life purpose is. What is the ultimate life purpose of humanity itself, which is reaching higher consciousness, being able to live a world of fulfillment and moving beyond that, right? Swamiji says his kids, which is the kids that are there in Nityananda Gurukul, eat superpowers. So their ahara is superpowers. How cool is that? It's not the ignorant society. It's not the powerlessness that um, is pervasive today in the world, but eating superpowers, eating the right context, the right cognitions. Really, that is what happens when you spend time around Swamiji or you attend Inner Awakening. Come be here in the Bidadi Adinam. Your Ahara here is so pure, and Swamiji's energy space cleanses out all the pus that is built up in us because of the wrong Ahara we have had for so long in society. So just wanted to share that as a different way of thinking about it, because food is something that is so deeply ingrained in us, isn't it? Because food is the first thing we interact with life with, because everyone, like I say, as soon as you're born, the first instinct you have is you root, because you're trying to root for your mother's breast and then get the milk you need, mammals. So searching for food, searching for ahara, it's such an instinctive ability. It's such an instinct in all of us. And even if everything else goes, that remains. That is one of the last things that you need to transcend when you explode into the consciousness of the cosmic consciousness, as opposed to me being an individual. So I just wanted to present that to my viewers as yet another way to think about how it is that we can cognize the world we live in, and how we can purify our ahara, how we can purify what it is that we take in, such that we live powerful lives. And also consider bringing your children and yourself here to Inner Awakening and the Gurukul, because that is where all the wrong ahara that we have taken for lifetimes is wiped out, and the right ahara, which is superpowers, which is our identity as a divine being, which is our capabilities way beyond what the subhuman standard has made us believe, starts to become available to us. It's just there for the taking. That's how so beautifully Swamiji has made it available to us. So that's all I have for today. If you have any question, please let me know. Really enjoying doing this YouTube series. As and when these clicks happen, just sharing it with you. I'll be doing more. Thank you, Nityananda.